Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to Abenasia's Recipes. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'm sharing a red velvet cake recipe with cream cheese frosting. Let's get started. I have all-purpose flour, brown sugar, oil, salt and baking soda, natural cocoa powder, vanilla extract, unsalted butter, red food gel, eggs, buttermilk, and vinegar. I'll begin by adding my vinegar to the buttermilk and then I'll give it a mix. I've preheated my oven at 350 degrees, so I'll spray my cake pan and then sprinkle all-purpose flour in it just to prevent the cake from sticking to the bottom of the pan, and then I'll set it on the side. Now let's begin making the cake batter. I have a half a cup of unsalted butter and then I add my sugar. I'll use my hand mixer to mix it until it is powdery and snowy consistency. I'll mix it for about a minute. I'll come in with my 2 eggs and beat until fluffy. I'll then come in with my oil. You can use light olive oil if you prefer. The butter and the oil add moisture to the cake to form a soft crumb. Then add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and then I'll give it a mix. Buttermilk and vinegar mix comes in and then I'll mix it for about a minute and then set it on the side. The buttermilk adds moisture, flavor, and it keeps the cake light and fluffy, and the vinegar also activates the baking soda and it adds extra acid to help maintain the red color in the cake. Now I'll sift my dry ingredients. So I've put my all-purpose flour in my sifter and then I will measure 2 heaping tablespoons of natural cocoa powder, guys. I'll add my salt and baking soda to sift as well. And I personally prefer the natural cocoa powder than the Dutch process. The natural cocoa powder turns dark red when it reacts with the buttermilk and vinegar. I'll then add my sifted dry ingredients to my wet ingredients and then I will mix until it is very well incorporated. I'll make sure to scrape the side of the bowl to get all the flour in so that everything will incorporate very well. I'll measure half a teaspoon of red food gel. And guys, the food gel is pretty thick. You can even get away with using a 1/4 teaspoon and still maintain a nice, beautiful red color in the red velvet cake. So we'll mix until everything is very well combined. So the color in this cake relies on the natural reaction of 3 key ingredients, which is the vinegar, the cocoa powder, and the buttermilk. So you don't have to rely on a ton of food coloring, guys. And it is time for me to pour it into my cake pan, and I'll be using a kitchen scale to measure my cake batter just to make sure that I have an equal amount of cake batter in each cake pan. And now I'm ready to put it in the oven to bake for 30 minutes. And it's been 30 minutes, so I've inserted a toothpick in the middle of the cake, and when it comes out clean, that indicates that the cake is perfectly baked. I left my cake to cool for about 25 to 30 minutes. And now my cake has cooled down, so I'll use my spatula to easily release it from the cake pan. There we go. I'll put it on a cooling rack and I'm ready to make my cream cheese frosting, guys. I'm super excited. Alright, so in a bowl I'm putting a 1.5 cups of unsalted butter. I'll then add 8 ounces of cream cheese to my butter and then I'll whip both of them together. I'll beat it until very nice and soft, and I'm using a room temperature butter and cream cheese for my cream cheese frosting. I'll add in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, then I'll mix it all together. And yes, my butter is unsalted butter. I'll then come in with 4 cups of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar, and then I will mix it until everything is very well mixed in. And look at that beautiful cream cheese frosting, guys. It is coming together very beautifully. I'll then measure a teaspoon of vanilla extract and then mix it until very nice and fluffy. And guys, look at the consistency of the frosting. Super thick and very well made and is delicious. Time to assemble my cake, guys. So I put one of the cake layer on my turntable, and then I will put a generous amount of frosting on top of the first layer. I'll use my spatula to spread the frosting evenly, and once it is very well spread out, I'll then put the second layer on top and then put a generous amount of my frosting, and then I'll spread it out beautifully. And guys, I'm not perfect at cake frosting. I'm gonna try my best to make this look delicious. And guys, we finally made it to 400 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your support. God bless you. I'll use my icing smoother to smoothen the side of the cake. I'll then put red sprinkles around the top of the cake and then on the side of the cake as well. I'll add some red sanding sugar on my cake, guys. The sanding sugar fills in the sprinkles, and the rest of the frosting will go into my piping bag. I'm putting some puffs on there to make the cake look delicious, and then I'll put it in the refrigerator for about 1 hour to firm off the icing, and that makes it easy to cut through the cake beautifully. And guys, 1 hour later, my cake is firmed and I'm ready to cut it. And then look at how delicious the inside of this beautiful red velvet cake look. Guys, comment down below and let me know what you think. This is a delicious red velvet cake. I hope you try this recipe. And I tell you, everyone loved the cake. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you're a new subscriber, a warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for subscribing. God bless you. Please kindly subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell so anytime I upload, you will be notified. Thank you. God bless you. And please stay safe. Bye, guys.